Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Singaporean Talks Money. So today my video title is Money No Enough. Inflation woes and is investing the way to beat inflation. So it's been said so many times and I've definitely seen the inflation in my everyday purchases. So many articles have talked about inflation and of course there are many things that have brought about inflation at such a rapid pace. I think the recent events has also amplified the effects of inflation as supply chains delays reflected strongly through prices and shortage of workers have also made prices increase. There are a lot of downstream impacts and it all just cascades down. In this volatile time that we are in, it really is stressful if you do not have enough money to cope with the rising costs, which doesn't seem to be stabilizing as we see the Russian and Ukraine conflict deepening, coupled with lockdowns in China and raw materials having price surge. So let's talk about how everyone is affected, just at varying degrees. So everyone is affected by inflation as prices across the board are increasing. I would say, of course, we can say that the rich are being affected as well, as we can see how the environment could also affect income due to the many restrictions and a lot of environmental issues. Most recently, we saw Eason Chan talk about how he was having very little to no income due to the pandemic, and his savings has dropped to Hong Kong 30 million, which is about Singapore dollar 5.2 million, leaving him feeling very panicked and stressed as it can only last him at most for 2 years. Well, the reactions to that wasn't that good, as the amount was something that most people will not or might not even be able to attain in their lifetime. But it was not sufficient for him to last beyond 2 years with that amount. Of course, the example that I raised doesn't really show how inflation affects him, as it is the pandemic that has affected him. So in Singapore, we saw articles of inflation here, here, and here. It is scary if previously you have been living paycheck to paycheck, and with increased prices, it means you will not be able to get the same amount as you previously did with the same price. Even just adding a drink to a meal could be a concern as everything has increased and not just certain products. I would say we are all affected, but at varying degrees depending on our lifestyle, commitments, income, and let's talk about how we can cope with it. There have been many opinions and articles released on how to cope with inflation. Most of the articles are pretty funny, I would say, as pointed out in Mr. Brown and Side Hustle Rich tweets. I think generally the advice to how to cope with inflation is, let's have a drum roll, to downgrade your lifestyle for cheaper options. And it's really frustrating because you worked hard to earn the money but have to settle for less due to the increasing prices, which I would say is pretty depressing, especially so for the younger generations who have maybe hobbies or interests that require some expenditure besides having a social life and commitments. I mean, I cannot imagine cutting off money for a hobby that helps me release stress or helps me cope with what's happening in the world. Of course, another way to increase your income is to do side gigs to earn more or just to increase your main income. Yeah, I think it really depends on the industry that you're in as well. And I know upskilling or going into more lucrative industries like tech can help, but that really depends on the individual. So let's also talk about how is investing your money the way to beat inflation? I would say there are many other ways to do so, but firstly, of course, I would say that saving money is really not enough for our generation. unless you are earning a very substantial income, for example, an annual income of 6 digits, which I think a proportion of people are able to do that. If you are not earning 6 digits per year, besides saving, I think you need to think about how to make your money work for you. So investing, of course, comes with certain amount of risk, and your capital is not guaranteed unless you sign up for endowment or savings plan, which I am not sure if it does beat inflation in the long run, as you are still unsure of how the future will be like. If you find yourself not feeling safe about investing, you can put aside funds in safer investment vehicles and have your emergency funds available, and with the extra you can try out investing. Of course, this is not financial advice, and it is opinions on how I would allocate my funds if I were a low risk investor. So there are definitely individuals who swear off investing. Then I think there are definitely other ways besides investing to beat inflation. You can monetize your hobby or any skills that you have. This option is very much possible now due to the huge internet accessibility that everyone has. You can also take up a side job like tutoring or doing Grab delivery to enhance your income. Lastly, you can also upskill or reskill and improve yourself to maximize your skills in your main job, or even on your side income to enhance your earnings. So ending it off with this, I used to hear my mom talk about how bak chor mee was 50 cents, and I thought, how is it possible that it was so cheap? But in the near future, I might be telling my kids how bak chor mee used to be $3 when one bowl would cost $10 and beyond. Scary to even think of it, but it's a possibility we are already seeing, as some noodles are being sold at double digits in a hawker centre. Well, I hope that doesn't come true too soon. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do give me a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to my video. Thank you.